as a race car driver, I watched one of your videos where you talked about getting a speeding ticket. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about that. What happened there? I think there was two occasions. I know you say you got one speeding ticket, but I think there was a Big Tater that you had something happen, and then there was another instance where a police officer pulled you over. You talked to both of them.
Yeah, so I actually haven't got a speeding ticket. That's my disclaimer. But what you're talking about, the big tater, we had the big Idaho potato truck at one of the races with us, and that was in California. So we actually had Chips do a little bit of a spiel with us and a little spoof. And I got in the driver's seat. They arrested me, they pulled me over, they wrote me a citation, all that stuff. But it was just kind of fun to kind of play on the big Idaho potato truck flying into town with the race car driver Ray Robb and Chips had to pull me over. But the other fun story is that when I was 14, because in Idaho you can get your permit when you're 14 and a half. Well, I had been driving myself to school with my permit, not a license. And one day I was leaving school, actually headed to the airport to go to a race, and I got pulled over leaving the school parking lot. And when the officer came to the window, he was like, "All right, license and registration." And I was so nervous, and I look up to him and said, "Well, here's my registration, but I don't have a license." And you could just see his day was ruined. He's like, "What makes you think it's okay to drive without a license?" And I leaned over and I said, "Well, my parents thought that if I could drive a NASCAR at 175 miles an hour with 25 other drivers within 3 inches of me, that I'd be able to drive on the road by myself." And he said, "You're a NASCAR driver?" And I knew I was in. So I got in a hook, line, and sinker. By the end of it, he had followed me on Facebook. We were friends and fans. But the following week or a few weeks later, I went to basketball tryouts, and he was one of the coaches on my basketball team. So for the rest of the year, I had to run extra laps whenever I got in trouble with them, because they had a short leash on me because they knew I was a troublemaker. But it was a good group of guys, and I highly respect the police force because of the impact they had in my life.